A very warm welcome to one and all. I'm Professor M.S. Patil, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samajas, Karmavir Advocate Baburao Ganpatrao Thakre, College of Engineering. Today we are going to learn about the concept of eccentric loading. Many mechanical components are subjected to eccentric loading. So what is this concept of eccentric loading and how it differs from the concept of direct loading? So today we will see this in this session. So what are the learning objectives of this session? First of all, we will see what is eccentric loading. Then we will see the effect of eccentric loading. And then we will design the components which are subjected to eccentric loading. So what is eccentric loading? Right? Consider a vertical column which is subjected to a tensile load. It is not acting on the geometrical axis. It is somewhat shifted from the geometrical axis. This is geometrical axis and this is the line of action of the force P. And this is the distance with which it is shifted from the geometrical axis. This distance by which it is shifted from the geometrical axis is called as eccentricity. So this is the concept of eccentric loading. That means if the load is not acting on the geometrical axis, it is called as eccentric loading. Now we will see how this loading, what will be the effect of this loading. Now I have drawn one more diagram over here with two additional loads, equal and opposite. The resultant of this diagram will be equal to the resultant of this diagram, because this P and this P, they are going to neutralize each other because they are acting equal and opposite. Okay, so we will divide this figure into again two figures, one with this load only P, and second figure with this P and the downward P, which are acting at a distance E apart. Okay, so if we superimpose this figure on this figure, we will get this figure, and this figure is equivalent to this figure. So now here, this figure, here the load is acting on the geometrical axis and therefore it is called as direct loading. Why? In this figure, the load are equal, opposite, parallel to each other, and therefore they form a couple, and therefore the net effect of this couple is to produce a bending moment. Effect of this P is to produce direct stress, while the effect of this couple P and P is to produce a bending moment and therefore to induce bending stresses, and therefore the net result of this eccentric loading is to produce direct stress and bending stress. Okay, so what is direct load? The line of action of force passes through the center of the cross section, and what is its effect? To produce direct tensile or compressive stresses. What is the effect of eccentric? What is eccentric loading? If the line of action is shifted from the geometrical axis, centroidal axis, then it is called as eccentric load. And what is the effect of eccentric load? To produce direct as well as bending stresses. So mathematically, direct stress can be calculated as sigma O is equal to P upon A. Bending stress is calculated as M upon Z, where M is the bending moment. Bending moment will be equal to P into E, and Z is I upon Y. So rewriting this, we will get P into E into Y upon I. And the net resultant stress will be the summation. Why we are calling it as summation? Because this direct stress can be tensile or compressive in nature. Bending stress can also be tensile or compressive in nature, and therefore the resultant stress is equal to P upon A plus minus P into E into Y upon I, or vice versa. That means sigma B plus minus sigma O, or sigma O plus minus sigma B. Then we will solve a numerical based on the concept of eccentric loading. Here it's a offset link shown in figure. The load is acting over here and the geometrical axis or centroidal axis is somewhere here. 2t divided by 2 from the bottom or the top. Okay, so here is the geometrical axis and load is here. So how much is the eccentricity in this case? 2t divided by 2, that is t plus 10 will be the eccentricity. We have to determine the cross section. The link is made up of gray cast iron Fg300. Fg300 means Faraday gray cast iron with ultimate tensile stress of 300 Newton per mm square. The force applied is 25 kilonewton, factor of safety is 3. We have to determine the dimensions. So first we will write what is given, P, SUT and FOS, that is factor of safety. We'll calculate permissible tensile stress, SUT upon factor of safety, that means it is 100 Newton per mm square. Then we will go for calculating the direct and bending stresses. Now first we have to decide what is the nature of direct stress and what is the nature of bending stress. Okay, so direct stress, as the arrows are in the opposite direction, so direct stress will be tensile in nature, so we can calculate it as P upon A, 25 into 10 raised to 3 upon area is T into 2T plus bending stress. Now bending stress here, right, we can see that the link is likewise, and therefore if we pull the link, then the top fiber will be subjected to bending tensile, and the bottom fiber will be subjected to compressive. And if we are talking about maximum tensile stress, then we will be considering the top fiber, and therefore at top fiber the nature of the bending stress is tensile, and therefore we will consider plus sign over here, putting all the values. M is P into E. P is 25 to 10 raised to 3. E is 10 plus T. Y is 2T divided by 2, that is T, and this is BD cubed by 12. And therefore, solving this particular equation by trial and error method, we can obtain the value of T. We can also obtain the value of 2T by multiplying 25.5 into 2. It will come out to be 51. Therefore, the cross section will be 25.5 multiplied by 51. Again, we will solve a numerical of a hacksaw, which is used for cutting purpose. The figure of the hacksaw is shown, cross section is shown, eccentricity is given, the magnitude of load is given. The frame of hacksaw is shown in figure. Initial load is 300 Newton P. The frame is made up of plain carbon steel 38 with a tensile yield. SYT is 400 Newton per mm square. Factor of safety is also given 2.5. Cross section is rectangular and depth to width ratio is 3. We have to determine the dimensions of the cross section. So data is given, writing the given data and calculating the permissible stresses. Permissible stresses will be SYT upon factor of safety. So 160 Newton per mm square is the permissible tensile stress. Now here, calculation of direct and bending stress. Direct stress, P upon A. P is given as 300, area is T into 3T. So we got it. But here, sigma O, direct stress is compressive in nature, because see the direction of the P. It will try to produce compression in the cross section. So it will try to push the cross section, and therefore it will be compressive in nature, and we will treat it as negative 100 upon T square. Sigma B is MB into Y upon Z. MB is P into 200, that is 300 into 200. Y is 3T by 2 and BD cubed by 12. So calculation of dimension, considering sigma T as a resultant stress 160 will be equal to sigma C plus sigma B. Sigma C is negative, therefore minus 100 upon T square, and sigma B is positive, therefore it will be likewise. And solving this equation, we can get the value of T. We can obtain the value of 3T also. In this way, the cross sections can be obtained. The cross section here, it was rectangular, it can be circular, it can be I section. So what will be changing? The value of moment of inertia will be changing, the value of Y will be changing. Otherwise, all the details will be same. But we have to keep attention towards the nature of the direct stress and bending stress, because here it can be plus or minus. In the previous numerical it was plus, in this numerical it is minus. So paying attention, we can solve any type of numerical based on eccentric loading. Thank you very much for listening the concepts of eccentric loading very patiently. Now in the next video session, we will be starting with the shafts. What are the shafts? What are the different types of shafts? What are the materials that are used for manufacturing the shafts? And what are the various bases of designing the shaft? Thank you. Thank you very much.